in order to start a new academic year. So the parent will be, in a way or another, they know what they are doing, and the kids, they know what kind of expectation, and the teachers also. So before I do that, I want to summarize the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on us as a human being, as a Muslim, by having children. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran al-Kareem says, Al-malu wal-banuna zinatul hayati dunya. The banun, the kids, having a kid, having a boy or a son, it's a blessing. It's a favor from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described it as beauty, the beauty of life. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you with the kids, it's two things. One is you are blessed. Two, you are responsible. So blessing, it goes with the responsibility. And as a parent, we have to maintain that the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to maintain in order to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep blessing us with His favor and with His khair. That's one way of the story. The other way of the story, being responsible, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the other ayah that it's warning us that in the day of judgment, your kids, وَلَا تُخْزِنِي يَوْمَ يُبْعَثُونَ يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ. In the day of judgment, your wealth and your kids will not benefit you if you didn't do good in your life. Just I wanna start with just to give you an idea that how the kids are a blessing for us. One day I was with my family. We were invited to a wedding, and my little one is 6 years old. Every time we are invited to a wedding, on the way he asked me, where are we going? I tell him we are going for a wedding party. So he doesn't know what is a wedding party. He ended up asking me, what is a wedding party? I told him, when a man and a woman, they marry, and that they do a party, and they have fun in that party in order to celebrate that matching and that. And the next week, same thing. He asked me, Baba, where are we going? We tell them also we are invited to a party. Guess what? Then he asked me, Baba, why you didn't invite me to your wedding? He's my son. He's asking me why I didn't invite him to my wedding. What kind of answer I'm going to give him? I'm going to invite you to my next wedding, right? No, just joking. Okay. So let's start with where are we? Can we go to the first page, human component? You hear me, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the human being, the human being is made in two components. One is our body that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described in the ayah, Wallahu anbatakum min al-ard. We were like grown up from the earth. Anbatakum min al-ardi nabatan. It's like we are a plantation and we are grown up. Okay? And ثُمَّ يُعِيدُكُمْ فِيهَا. And one day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take us to the ground, which is to the earth, which is when everybody die, will go back to earth, right? وَيُخْرِجُكُمْ إِخْرَاجًا. That's one. So the body, if you see the body is nothing than is made of organic, which is minerals, okay? Because we eat the minerals, we eat the food, we eat the meat, we eat the plantation. All these are minerals. That's the body, how the body grow up. And the other component, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us with, is the soul, is the ruh. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He created Adam alayhi salam, He blessed him with the ruh. And the ruh, it comes from above, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these two, they made the human being. That's why when we die, everybody goes back to where he comes from. So the soul will goes back to the heavens, and the body will goes down to the earth. So human is a soul, body and brain. Soul is fed from the revelation. How the ruh is going to be fed? How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the Quran and the sunnah in order to be, for the ruh that is in our body to be fed. So it's not same like the body. The body is fed from the plantation and the meat, and the ruh is fed from the revelation, from the Quran, from the dhikr, from the salat, from the sawm, from being closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, like I said, when we depart from this life, what is left? The body goes down and the soul goes up, and then the day of judgment, anybody who knows computer here, the pointers, you know the pointers, one thinks point to each other. So at the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he has his own way of calling this ruh and calling this body and match again and get up, and it's the day of judgment. So that's where you will be accountable of what you have done in your life. So this is the, can you go, Brother Sam, can you go to the next? So I go a little bit in speed, maybe the time will not be, but in the same time, if you didn't understand anything, you can raise your hand. And by the way, we have some setting, we have some question and answer. Anybody can pick a pen and a paper, write any question if you like, or you can take note if you like also. So the spiritual dimension of the human being. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us with many faculties. One of the faculties is the ruh, the second is the body, the third is the brain, and the fourth is the nafs. So all these components, all these faculties should be fed. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't leave it to us to feed these faculties. He already directed us. He already gave us guidance how to feed these ones. So, al-janib al-ruhi rabtul qalb billah. How you feed your ruh is to link this heart that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to the revelation, and to the Quran. And in the ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَتَطْمَئِنُّ قُلُوبُهُم بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبُ. The qalb is only fed with dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything that makes you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's the feeding of the qalb. That's the feeding of the ruh. Those who have believed and those whose hearts are assured by the remembrance of Allah, unquestionably by the remembrance of Allah, heart are assured. And let's give some example of things, which is salat, qira'a yawmiyya lil-Quran, a daily reading for the Quran. It's like the food. When we go to the doctor, he'll tell you have to eat 3 times in order to maintain your body and your health, right? So why we go by the rule of the doctor and we don't go by the rule of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked us to read the Quran at least daily. So the question is, this will feed your heart and will make your heart life. And that one, even if you don't eat for a day, that's not the end of the world. But in the same time, you have to eat. So ad-dhikr, remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's why I'll just give you an example. When you are driving your kids to the school, make dhikr and let them repeat after you. Say subhanallah, they will repeat after you. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu akbar. Read ayatul kursi, let them read it for you. So this is the best time for the kids in the morning and in the afternoon when you are picking them to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the spiritual dimension. Let's move to the next dimension, which is the cognition dimension. And the cognition dimension is nothing than the academic. That's why we send our kids to the Islamic school and to the schools in order to learn the academic. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us brain, and this brain should be fed. Also by reading books, by pondering on the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the trees, on the skies, on the mountains, all this, we should think, we should link this brain to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created for us. And nowadays, the science and the internet, it helps more how to get more knowledge about the earth, about the skies, about the galaxies. All these are knowledge that is fed to feed the brain, and the brain, if it's fed in a nice way, from the right source, it will be a plus for the human being. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I am taking the ayat from the Quran al-Kareem. إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادَ كُلُّ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. As-sama', the hearing, and the sight, and the fu'ad, كُلُّ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. We are responsible about this. Why? Because you have to make sure what you are hearing and what your kids are hearing from the TV, from the radio, from anywhere or another. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us to make a program for our kids what they have to hear, because there is the input and there is the output. The input is what you receive from the environment, what you receive from the teacher, what you receive from the TV, what you receive from your parent, what you receive from the internet. These are the inputs. All these are inputting data and inputting information in the brain of the kid. Wal-basar, also wal-basar, you are watching. So kids, youth, parents, they can watch anything. But it's also the basar, it's a sight that brings data to your brain. It hits your brain with these pictures. If the pictures are good, the brain will be in a nice mood. If the pictures are bad, you are responsible down the road what kind of things is going down. أُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. Ears, eyes, and heart will be questioned the day of judgment. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the next verse it says, لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا أُولَٰئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ. There are people in the world that they have eyes but they don't see, and they have ears but they don't hear. وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا. And they have heart. So it means that what? It means there is a sick heart and there is a healthy heart. There is a sick eyes and there is a healthy eyes. There is a sick ears and there is a healthy ears. And you have to take it to the next level, not only the sickness of the physical sickness, the sickness of having something that comes to your body, that comes to your brain, and it is not good. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran al-Kareem, He diversified the ayat on us, so in order to watch what is around us. The ulama, they divided the Quran al-Kareem, they said there is Quran al-Mastur wal-Quran al-Mandur. Al-Quran al-Mastur is this, the Masjid, that we see it, that we read it every day. And the Quran al-Mandur is the one that you see it. The universe is another Quran. And the Quran al-Mastur, the Masjid described the Quran al-Mandur. And if you see the Quran al-Mandur, you will say, رَبَّنَا مَا خَلَقْتَ هَذَا بَاطِلًا. Oh Allah, you didn't create this for nothing. You didn't create all this universe for nothing. So there is an interaction between the Quran al-Mandur and the Quran al-Mastur. So one of the things that back to the spiritual and how you feel the spiritual, I forget something, that the parent, they should make dua. Part of the dhikr is to making dua to the kids. So if the kids are, sometimes as a parent we only make the dua only when they are sick. But we have to make dua everywhere and every time for our kids. And also you have to name your son that it needs. Not all the kids, they need the same dua. You have to specify the right dua for the right kid, because one kid is different from the other kid. And I'll just tell you a story about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answered the dua of the parent. There is a doctor. He was going from a city to another city. He's a doctor, he travel, he take his stuff and he go from one city to another city. And one day he was traveling, and in the middle of the traveling, the airplane that he was traveling, there is a tornado in that city, and it makes that airplane to how to say, to stop in that area. So the doctor, he complained to the driver of the airplane or the pilot, and he told him, I have to go, I have emergency to in that city. I have emergency. I have to go. What's happened of this? He told him, we cannot do nothing. The airplane, the tornado is on the way. So, and they told him, look, we can get a taxi for you. We can get you a car, a rental car, and you take that rental car for the 300 miles that is left. So he accepted that because there is no other issue. They got him a car, he got the car, and he moved. In the middle, again, around 200 miles, 100 miles to reach the city that he's going. A bad weather also affected him, and the car stopped almost on the side of the road, and he cannot go. He's hungry, he's tired, he's on. So he said, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, I cannot do nothing. He stopped the car out of his hunger and out of his tiredness. He said, I'll walk a few steps. If I find anybody, I'll ask help. Right? So he walked a few steps, and he found old house, and he knocked on the door, and a lady, she told him, welcome, come. And he came, she gave him a piece of bread, and she gave him a tea, and then almost he was kind of, and then he woke up and he said, he saw a bed, and on the bed, a little boy, 6, 7 years little boy. And he told her, what's wrong with this little boy? She told him, I am a very poor lady, and my son is sick. And she was praying. She told him, I was praying for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make him healthy. But for a long time, he's on the bed. And I asked around, and they told me there is no way to have your kid to be in a good shape unless you take him to a doctor. His name is Dr. Hisham. It's 700 miles from here. Guess what? That's the Dr. Hisham. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of her dua, day and night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the trumpet, make the tornado for the airplane, make him stop in the middle of the road out of the dua of that woman to her kid. So never, never underestimate the dua of the parent for the kids. Make dua for them. In the middle of the night, when you get up, make dua for them. When you make tahajjud, make dua for them. It's a blessing, it's a responsibility. So what are we? Let's move to the next. So I think we are done with the cognition, right? So I want to tell you another story for how the mother impacted their kids. Generally, the parent, the dads are in a way or another, they don't stay too much in the house. But the moms, they feel the need of their kids. That's why they are too closer to them, and generally they give them advice and they sit with them. And so there is a lady, her son, he was going for an exam in Britain. So he's not good. His English is not that much. He's from Africa, and he's not good. His English is kind of shaking, and they want to take, the school they want to take around 15 to 20 from that school to England for a test in accounting and economy and all this stuff. So his peers, they told him, your English is poor, you are not going to pass this test. So he went back to his mom and he complained, and he told her, hey mom, I'm not going to England. I don't feel that I'm in a good shape to get this exam. So his mother, he told him, no way, you have to go and you have to pass the exam, and you are going to pass the exam, inshallah. So you see, there is two environments of learning. One environment that try to put you down, and one environment which is the mothers, they are trying to push you up. So on the plane, his peers, again, they told him, hey man, within a week or two, you are going to go back to Africa. You are not going to pass this test. They make fun on him again. So he was naive. He told them, but my mom told me that I'm going to win the test. And out of the word of his mom, okay, he started working hard. He started working hard just to satisfy and to make the dream of his mom a dream that will become a reality. And he started working hard. And the day of the exam, he went to the exam, and he was in good shape, and he made the exam, and he won the first place of all his peers. So the message here is that mom and dad can impact their kids positively. So never try to, even if the kid is not doing good, always uplift him. Always tell him that you are doing good. So the moral of the story is that you have to build the confidence in the kids so they can learn. Once you build the confidence, they will take it from there. They will take it and they will learn by themselves, and they will win, inshallah. So let's move to the next. So the product of the environment. So Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in one of the ahadith, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "يولد المرء على الفطرة وأبواه يهودان أو ينصران." I think everybody knows this hadith, that human being is set on the fitra. The fitra is being a believer by nature. You recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by nature. You are a Muslim by nature. Even the kids of the Jewish or the Christian or the Hindu, they are Muslim by nature. Then what makes them go Hindu or this, or go atheist, or go to this school or that school, is their parent. We are responsible where we put our kids. So a child is born on fitra. The fitra, after that, it's left to the environment. Where you put, if you put a kid, he's Indian and he speak Urdu, if you take him at the age of 6 months and you put him in a family that living in Alaska, here, and he stayed with them 15 years, he will end up speaking Alaskan, right? So that's the environment. That's the environment impact the kids. So this hadith responsibilize us as a parent where we put our kids, what kind of books our kids should read, what kind of movie our kids should watch. So in a way or another, you are responsible about what kind of source of knowledge that your kids is going. And the other side of the story is the next verse is وَإِذَا فَعَلُوا فَاحِشَةٌ قَالُوا وَجَدْنَا عَلَيْهَا آبَاءَنَا. When they do, in the Quran, the kuffar, when they ask them, why you don't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why don't follow the messenger, why don't follow Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, their answer is what? We find our forefathers and fathers doing that, worshipping idols, we are worshipping idols. So we are not doing something wrong. وَإِذَا فَعَلُوا فَاحِشَةٌ قَالُوا وَجَدْنَا عَلَيْهَا آبَاءَنَا. This is not an excuse for somebody to not look for the right things, for not putting his own effort, just being a follower of his dad. You have to put your own effort as a child, to put the effort to learn, and don't rely on the knowledge that was transferred from the parent. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Sahabas describe Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that كان الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم يفرغنا ويملينا. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to empty us and fill us. Thus, the purpose of the education is to empty the kids from any wrongdoing, any ideas that is around them, and that is bad ideas, and fill them with the right ideas. Why? Rasul he came in the middle of the Jahiliyyah. The people, they were ignorant, they were doing anything wrong, thinking that's following their parent, and that's it. So when the revelation came, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasul came, he started telling them, this is halal, this is haram, this is good, this is not good. So Rasul he was a teacher. He was teaching the Muslim at that time that, wait a minute, you used to do this, take it out, it's not good. Yufriguna. He used to empty us from the Jahiliyyah, from anything that was that we inherited from the Jahiliyyah. And he used to fill us with Islam. So he used to fill them. In a way or another, as a teacher, as a parent, we should not come to our kids and tell them, don't do that. Always try to give them the alternative. Give them that, don't do that, but do this. Because Islam, at the end, what is Islam? Islam is a solution. You have a problem in the society, you have to apply the solution of Islam on the society. So it's not good to just go to the kids and to the, or as a curriculum, people who put the curriculum, the teaching curriculum, only 99% haram, 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 and then what? And then you leave to the kids to, well, no, you have to provide them with the solution. You have to provide them with the alternative. So when we tell our youth, don't go somewhere else, we tell them, come to the multi-purpose hall and play cricket and play basketball and play soccer and play ping pong and play badminton and play all this. It means what? As a Muslim, we have to provide the alternative for our kids. When you tell him, don't watch this movie in the TV, provide him with something else that is building character for him. So let's move on. So now go back. We started with the ruh and how you feed it. Then we move it to the brain, and now we are moving to the body. How you feed the body. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This body also, it's amana. You cannot leave your body just sleeping 24 hours, eating too much. These are bad habits. So as a parent, we should know what kind of food our kids are having. What kind of, how are they having healthy sleeping? Are they having enough sleeping? So what we have to do is we have to recognize first, and we have to recognize that there is a need for kids to sleep. There is enough time for him to sleep. There is a need for him to eat the food. So all these are needs. Now, if you wanna sort what are the needs and what are the wants, and are they what they want? Like Imam Zia said, if you ask any kid right now, you tell him what do you want, he will tell you, I want PlayStation. The first thing he will answer, I want PlayStation. If you tell him, ask him anything, he wants to go to his hobby. Nowadays the hobby is just playing. Okay. So as a parent, we have to recognize that there is a need for the kids to play. But now the next question, what kind of play, what kind of game we are going to allow these kids, and how this game are going to affect the kids and the brain of the kids and the soul of the kids and the body of the kids down the road. So you have to make your own judgment. So first is respecting the hobby, the sport, and the entertainment. We have to recognize that. Then how you feed it. Now the Sahaba and Muhammad ﷺ and the Quran didn't leave us blindly how to find this. So he gave us enough guidance, he gave us enough direction, and in the same time we have to use our brain, our scientific tools nowadays to find out what is good for our kids. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, he was Khalifa, and at the same time he was thinking about how to build the society, how to make a healthy society. So they questioned him, what kind of things are we going to provide to our kids and to learn and to have entertainment? He said, if you bring any sociologist, any psychologist right now, probably he'll write a book like this in order to tell you what your kids has to do. Umar ibn Khattab, he summarized in 2 words. He said, أشغلوهم في الخير قبل أن يشتغلوا في الشر. What does it mean? Keep them busy with the good before they will be busy with the bad. This is human nature. If the kids are not busy with something good, they will be busy with something else. So as a parent, we have to provide that busyness, being busy with the good. So you have to make your daily schedule. They have to get up, they have to read the Quran, they have to pray, they have to do their homework, they have to clean up their room, they have to play a little bit, what kind of game they have. It's up to us to keep them busy. Keep the kids busy, keep the kids of the community busy in the games, keep the parent busy. So the whole solution of Islam is to keep the human busy with something good that comes as good to the human, to the person himself, to the family, to the community, to the city, to the entire human being. So if the Muslims are using their brain and their hand and their feet to make the earth busy with the good, believe me, these shayateen al-ins, there is shayateen al-ins wal jinn who are providing movies, bad movies, and who are providing bad games, and who are providing, our Muslim and our entire humanity will not be busy with that, because they are already busy in something good. So the teachers and the parents, they should know that how to make the kids busy with the good before they will be busy with something else. نعمتان مغبون فيهما كثير من الناس الصحة والفراغ. الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said two things many people, they don't value this, which are the صحة, being healthy. Being healthy, it's a ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look around the world, how many people they are living catastrophic life. How many people they don't have job? How many people how many families are broken? The man is living somewhere, and the mother, she's living somewhere, and the kids, they visit the kids only in the weekend. How many families are broken? How many divorce? How many people they don't have kids? How many people their kids they are living under the war? How many? So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you with having kids, with having safety, with your kids go to school, so use it in the right way. Use it that will please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and if it pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will favorite you more. He will keep blessing on you. So نعمتان مغبون فيهما كثير من الناس. Many people, they don't value they don't value the free time, and they don't value the صحة, being صحة. If you want to see really if you are in good health or not, go and visit the hospitals. Just go around the hospitals and look how many people sick in the hospitals. Then you recognize and you say Alhamdulillah. Then when you come back home, use that Alhamdulillah for the good. And another I don't know, either a hadith or either just a wisdom that the Arabs used to say, Al-Jismu Salim fil Aql Salim, sound body in sound mind. Hikmah. Al-Sheikh قال لك حكمة, it's not a hadith. So sound body, it means what? It means if you have a sound body, okay, it means that Allah subhanahu in a way, we are telling the people that don't take care only of your brain and you leave the soul and you leave the body. Or don't take only care about the body and you leave the others. You have to uplift all of them in a balanced way, that you will be happy, that you will create happiness in yourself and around you. Imagine somebody go to the gym and he start working only on his right hand. Day and night he work only for a year. He work on right hand and he never touched the left hand. Some people, they said the left hand is from shaitan, right? So they don't value. So at the end, what? At the end of the year, this left hand will become like this, and this one stays like this. And if he walk in the street, people will make fun on him, right? And this is unbalanced, right? Same thing. But per analogy, if you work only in the academic of your son and you want him to be excellent in math, and you forget about dhikr, and you forget about heart, and you forget about taking him play games and soccer and basketball, all this stuff, he will end up paralyzed. Paralyzed, it doesn't mean that somebody who just, he has paralyzing in his feet, he cannot walk. There is paralyzed in the brain, there is paralyzed in the heart, there is paralyzed in everywhere. So you have to go deep and make a balanced way of scheduling your kids to go over all this in a scheduled way, so he will not miss anything. So he will end up, because the purpose of life as a parent for us is to build a generation that they are balanced. They build a generation that their heart is fed, their brain is fed, their body is fed, and they are balanced, and they can produce. Because the end of it is we want them to produce to the society, to impact the others positively. That's how our role and our that's why we are Khalifa. That's why we are Khalifa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is next? Now I want to tell you how Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how he used to motivate his Sahaba and the people around him. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam at the Fath of Mecca, when Rasul they made the Fath, you know, when they made the Fath, many people they came to Islam and they become Muslims, right? But some of them they're still in a shaking mood. The first week, second week, they don't understand what's going around them. Many people, they can, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, يَدْخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ أَفْوَاجًا. They come in group in Islam, in the Fath Mecca. So some of the people from Mecca, one of them is 16 years old. And when Rasulullah he asked Bilal to make the adhan, he was sitting with a group of people, and he was making fun on Bilal while he's making the adhan. So his Islam is not at that level because they are still in the new of Islam. So Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, some of the Sahaba, they went to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they told him there is a guy who is making fun on the adhan, on Bilal especially. So Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told them, bring him to me. So one of the Sahaba, he went to him and he told him, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam wants to talk to you. So Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, imagine what? Do you think Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, rahmatan lil alameen, do you think he's going to punish him? He's a mercy to the mankind, right? That is a teaching for the parent, as sometimes you have to ignore what your kids are doing. Teachers, sometimes you have to ignore. Put the blind eye, you didn't see. Sometimes you hear something, put the deaf ear. You didn't hear what they said. And Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he brought him and he told him, I heard that you have a beautiful voice. Imagine Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he ignored the whole what happened. What happened, he was making fun on Sayyidina Bilal when he's making adhan. He ignored all this. And he wanna start a new chapter with this boy. He told him, I heard that you have a beautiful voice. Why not you allow me to teach you the adhan? So, and that boy, 16 years old, in his head that he's going to be punished, and suddenly a new life, a new chapter opened for him. He said, I used to hate Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he put his hand on his heart and he put his hand on his front head and he told him, you have a beautiful voice, why not you allow me to teach you the adhan? And he took him, guess what? He didn't take him in a corner and teach him the adhan. He took him in the middle of the peers that he was making fun on Bilal with them and laughing. He took him there and he started teaching him the adhan. He told him, say Allahu Akbar, repeat after me. And he taught him the adhan, and when he finished, he told him and he announced it to the whole Muslim that this Abu Jamuh, he will be the mu'adhan of Mecca from now and on. And this is story, Abu Jamuh himself is saying it. After 40 years, he said that I was the mu'adhan of Mecca for 40 years. He said, I started at 16, and he started, and he's saying to the Sahaba how he started becoming a mu'adhan. He himself, he didn't forget the story. So, the moral of the story is sometimes you have to really ignore what's going on and start a new chapter with the kid and open a new page and put him and put the kid in a nice mood and put him in a perspective that he's going to see the light out of the tunnel. He got he got recognition. This boy, he got the recognition from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This boy, he got the job that he is the mu'adhan. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he elevated him in a way that instead of being a clown and making fun on the people, here the Islam is giving you a position that you will be elevated, and you will be the mu'adhan, and you will get the hasanat. And guess what? He himself, he become a role model for the community. So I don't know what time is, 9:05, right? At this time, I'll open the floor for any question, any suggestion. If you want to write a question, or if you can come, I'll give you the microphone, ask your question, inshallah. We'll try to answer. I'm not sure if, yeah. Sister upstairs, if you have any question, please send it with any of the girls. Any question? Father, yes. Fath. Oh, sorry. The Fath is the opening of Mecca. The opening. When the Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they immigrated after 10 years, you know, Fath Mecca, the 10th of Ramadan, they went back to Mecca, and at that time they opened peacefully Mecca, which is they were having battles before, but the opening of Mecca, because Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in Medina, right? So when they went back to Mecca, and the whole Muslim, they celebrated the opening of Mecca peacefully. The Muslim, they were entering Mecca from all the doors, from different gates in masses. 10,000 people, they were in Mecca that day. That's the name of it, is Fath Mecca, which is the opening of Mecca. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And Rahim, merciful, Rahim, beneficent, Rahma. What are the differences between Rahma, Rahman and Rahim?
Oh, Rahman and Rahim. Yeah. Maybe you answered it. I don't. I know that Rahman or Rahim is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. That shows you that He's not only Rahman, He's also Rahim. So it's His Rahmah encompasses everything, like not only the human, also the animals, also anything in the world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mercy on it. Allahu Alam.
But Rahim may be Prophet, Rasul, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Rahim bi ummatihi. Allahu Rahim. People Rahim will animals for another children. But Rahman is merciful for this adjective for Allah only. But Rahim, merciful, maybe Allah Rahim.
Even a human being can be Rahim. Yeah. Jazakallah khair. Good. Barakallah. So the Sheikh is telling that Rahman is an attribute only of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Rahim, you can say that Al-Ummu Rahimatun bi ibniha. The mother, she's merciful with her son. You can attribute that to the mother. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Rahim with his ummah. He is merciful to his ummah. So, but Ar-Rahman attribute, you only can use it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakallah khair. Barakallah fi. One way to kind of to go to action item, what the parent can do in order to in Islam, the good news about Islam is not a religion of theory only. You get the knowledge and you go. That's it. Okay. Islam is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. It's a link. It's you have the iman and you have to make amal salih. And then in the Quran, in the Sunnah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describe you what are the ways of al-amal salih. Okay, and here I say some of the ways of the amal salih. Al-i'ana, you have people around. Al-shafaqa, you have empathy toward people who are sick, toward people who have diseases, toward you have to have empathy. Al-rahma, like the Sheikh said, you have to be rahim, you have to be merciful, you have to al-ikha, we have to be brothers. You have to engage in being brother. It's not just, oh brother, I love you, or you are my brother, and that's it. You have to engage. There are some action that shows that if you are really brother or just you are just saying it by tongue. You have to hug him, you have to invite him for food, you have to, if he needs your help, you go and help him. That's brotherhood. At-ta'awun, we have to help each other. And ziyarat al-murda, going and visiting the sick people. I'anatul faqir, helping the needy, helping the poor, helping the ittiba' al-janaiz, going after in the janaza. When one of your brother or sister, she dies, you have to go and ittiba' janaza and pray the janaza. These are action items that are given in our Islam, by our books, by our Prophet ﷺ, that you can engage this in teaching the kids and take your kids with you so they will learn this. And this is part of feeding their free time, and what Umar ibn Khattab said, keep them busy with the good. These are something good. That's why the Muslim, when they put some planification, they have to put the planification in a way how to go and visit the sick, how to go and make something that cleaning the road, helping the needy, delivering food to the needy. All these are programs in a way or another to keep the generation busy with something good. So it's well thought. It's not something that somebody he slept and he just dreamed that tomorrow we have to go and clean up the road of Esther. No, it's well thought to use our muscles and to use our things in order to educate our kids so they will grow up with being busy with something good before they will be busy with something bad, right? Any question? Bismillah. Jazakallah khair. This sister, it looks like she read my mind. How to help a boy or a kid that he always complain about the Quran class is boring. And guess what? This is exactly what my son told me. He told me the Quran class is boring. So, if it is boring, the Quran class is boring, I think I have to bring Sheikh Makhdoom to answer this question. So if it is boring, it's a big responsibility on us. Why the kids are complaining about the Quran? You wanna come? Come. You're right. I agree with the Sheikh. The responsibility is not. It's all of us, we have to share the responsibility. Two things. One, the Quran class is boring because the kids, they spend too much time in the games, and when you tell them, stop the game, let's go to the Quran, they will never stop. They will tell you, the Quran? How come? I want to stop my PlayStation and my video that my dad gave me an iPhone to play with. I want to stop this and go to the Quran. That's one, okay. Because they are busy with something that in their mind this is good. Two is the teachers should attract the kids, to teach them. Okay. The good news, our Quran administrator, he give them candy. He give them candy whenever they come to the masjid. He gave them candy because he want them to love the Quran. So as a parent, we have to provide the environment. We have to make the kids love the Quran. And I tell my kids, I don't want you to read 3 pages a day. I don't want to read one line. Make it easy on them. Make schedule for them. Just make them read one line. Why? Because if they read one line today, tomorrow they will read 2 lines without asking them. Al-Rasul ﷺ, he said, أدومها وإن قلت. A little bit, but make it consistent, better than you do it all, you make them stay the whole night reading the Quran, and then they will end up cursing the Quran and the parent and everybody who told them. Why? Make it easy on them. The kids, you have to make them, you have to attract them. Anything. Nowadays, people are spending millions of dollars to make something lovable to the kids. A game. Do you think a game is just a game? There is a big, huge market behind the game that they want to make it lovable to them. I have a discussion with my son about this, what the name? Go? Pokemon Go, right? This Pokemon Go, I tried to tell my son that this is not good, this is not good. I gave all, tried to convince him. He picked only one thing. He said, but it helps people to lose weight. See, they make it in a way that is really attractive for the people if they want to lose weight. And they forget everything. There is an Arabic saying, it says, يعطي السم في العسل. They make the poison inside the honey, right? The honey. The honey, the asal. Honey, right? Okay. So there is an Arabic saying, it says, يعطي السم في العسل. This market, they want to give you the poison. But how they want to market? They want to market as honey, right? They will make all things good around that one in order to put 1% poison. Guess what? 1% poison can make you dead, can take you to death, right? Exactly. The brain of our kids is not made that way. They don't learn this. They don't know about this. As a parent, we know. We know that this game is destructive for the brain of the kids. This game is very destructive. So you want to try to convince them? You cannot. It means what? Plan for the alternative. Give them an alternative. Forget about that. Okay, I have a conversation with my son. I was not able to convince him. He was not able to convince me. How I do? Ignore everything and keep him busy with something else that you and him, you love it. Not only that, many parents, what they do, they think that they live in one world and the kids, they live in another world. Okay. Some people, they bring their kids to play. Try to play with them. They ask their kids to read Quran, and themselves they don't read Quran. If you have to sit there to read the Quran, he has to sit there to read the Quran. He has to see all his brothers and peers reading the Quran in a way that it will motivate him to read the Quran. So we should not only put the blame on the Quran, class is boring. We have to create the environment around us so we can make it lovable to the kids. It's a big challenge. Why? Because we are challenging not only shayateen, we are also challenging the shayateen al-ins wal-jinn. Everybody is against you to steal your son from focusing on something that is benefit for him. They want to steal your son. They want to steal his mind. They are putting money and billions of dollars to steal their mind, to make them not focus on things. But as Muslims, we, like the Imam today, Brother Diwan, he said that we are engaged to make, we have a double mission. If the other parent in the world, they have one mission is to make their kids engineers and doctors. Our mission as a Muslim is to make them successful in this life and the hereafter. It's a big challenge because you have to work. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you 2 eyes. That's why He gave you 2 feet. That's why He gave you 2 hands. Both hands should work. And not only that, both parents should work. The mother should put some time to educate her kids by telling them story, by giving them something good that attracts them to learn. And the dads, they should do their effort too. If all of us, we engage in teaching the right teaching for our kids, believe me, we'll make a difference in our kids, and our kids will make difference in this land, and will be blessed in the day of judgment. Your kid While you are under the ground, your kids are making dua for you, and this dua is answered, and hasanat will come to you in mountains, and you don't know from where this come, because you left a good child, and you educate a good child that will make dua for you after you depart from this life. Any other question? Any other question? So in a summary is, so we said that your kids are a blessing, but in the same time, there is a responsibility behind it. So we have to fulfill this responsibility, and this responsibility is doubled. You want to get the ajr of going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you tell him, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I made my effort, I left behind me kids, I did my job to educate them, so they will be pious, they will fulfill their salat, they will read their Quran, they do the good, they help the needy, they are engaged in a good programs to help uplift the community, to uplift the humanity, to uplift the people around them, and you leave a legacy behind you. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why we say sallallahu alaihi wasallam every day? Because he left a legacy behind him. Because he's the role model for us. As a Muslim, everybody, if you want to be a good parent, look for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you want to be a good teacher, look for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you want to be a good imam, look for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you want to be a good whatever, generals in the army, look for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you want to be a good judge who's judge between the people, look for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's a reference for us. You have this reference that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives. Go read his story, go read his seerah, and every time you will extract something that will benefit you, will benefit your family, and benefit your community. What time is? I think if there is no question, I can close this session. I don't know if it's live or not, but I have the PowerPoint presentation. If anybody needs the PowerPoint presentation, give me your email, I can send it to you. That's one. Two, I am trying to make at least a monthly session where we engage in some issues that related to us as a community, and I'll give like a session like this with question and answer and engage the community. Let me know. If you like it, I'll keep on going. If you don't like it, I'll stop here. Yeah. جزاكم الله خير. اللهم نسألك رضاك والجنة ونعوذ بك من سخطك والنار. اللهم بارك لنا في أولادنا، اللهم بارك لنا في ذريتنا، اللهم بارك لنا في أزواجنا وزوجاتنا. اللهم نسألك الخير كله ونعوذ بك من الشر كله. جزاكم الله خير. بارك الله فيكم.